Write each expression in simplest form and evaluate where possible. Oh, and I have to tell you something else that we didn't look at before. No, just for part B. For part A, though, we have sine, cos, minus cos, sine. So what we're looking for, put an alpha above this one, a beta above this one, alpha again, beta above that. Ask yourself, do we have this on our formula sheet? And what's it equal to? Is it a sine one or is it a cosine one? It's a sine one. Is it alpha minus beta or alpha plus beta? Alpha minus beta. So we can take the first one and rewrite all of that as sine alpha, which is 8x, minus beta, which is 3x. That simplifies to sine 5x. You can. That's not like equals here is fine. So from our activity that we did first, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. From our activity that we did first, we saw all of these formulas, right? And right before example 2, there's also ones for tangent. So we didn't do the tangent ones on our formula, but you can put a box around this. These are on your formula sheet as well. I also have them up on the wall here, all your sine alpha plus beta, cos alpha plus beta ones, and tan ones as well. So in part B of example 2, man, I hate this new. There we go. In part B, we have tan pi over 6 plus tan pi over 12 over 1 minus tan pi over 6 tan pi over 12. So again, I would write above here alpha, beta, alpha, beta. Do we have a tan alpha plus tan beta over 1 minus tan alpha tan beta formula on our formula sheet like that? Yes, there's one that matches up perfectly. Can you see that it matches up perfectly to the tan alpha plus beta formula? So again, we don't have to have these formulas memorized exactly, but you have to have memorized that if you have a fraction with a whole bunch of tans and two angles that are the same, there's a good chance it's one of our formulas. And in this case, it's going to be equal to tan. Our alpha is pi over 6. Our beta is pi over 12. What is pi over 6 plus pi over 12? How do you add fractions? You get a common denominator. So this will be 2 pi over 12 plus 1 pi over 12, which will give us 3 pi over 12. Is that on your pi plate? Because it's pi over 4. And what is tan of pi over 4? 1. So in part B it says evaluate if possible, and in this one we can. So one of the things that we do with our sum and difference identities, and that's the name of these big long formulas, is we just recognize when we have the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and we change it from one side to the other. In this case, we recognize both had the right-hand side of those formulas. We change it to the left side, and in part B, it allowed us to evaluate all of this, even though we don't know what tan of pi over 12 is. Yes. Because all of this was equal to, this was the right-hand side of the formula that was equal to tan alpha plus beta. And alpha was pi over 6, and beta was pi over 12. And that allowed us to change it, and once we changed it, things got simple really quick, and we were able to answer it. Questions for practice are 4 and 5.